Hello travellers, and welcome to the very first episode of Gold Gated, the gold grinding challenge where we start from scratch at level 1, our goal to gather, quest and fight our way to the price of a WoW token without leaving the zone. But that's just the beginning. Once we hit the token milestone, we unlock the next zone where the journey resets and the challenge begins all over again. This series was inspired by the awesome creator Pathorelix on YouTube. His content gave me the push to launch this adventure, so make sure to check out his channel, linked to the description below. Before we begin, here are the rules of the Gold Gated Challenge. Rule 1. We may only acquire items through killing, farming, questing or crafting. No handouts, no shortcuts. Rule 2. We can sell anything we earn on the auction house, but we can't buy anything on the auction house. Rule 3. We cannot leave Elwynn Forest until we've earned enough gold to buy a WoW token. That token unlocks the next zone, but it must border Elwynn or be reachable by direct transport like the Deep Run tram. Flight paths don't count. Rule 4. Stormwind City is considered part of the Elwynn zone, but only for auction house and bank use only, nothing more. And Rule 5. We only complete the zone's challenge once we can afford a WoW token at the current market price. No locking in older values. With the rules in place, the coin purse is empty, so let's sharpen our blades and get going. This is Gold Gated, a humble dwarf rogue, down on his luck and low on coin. Rumours reached him that the humans in the Northshire Abbey are in need of help dealing with some Blackrock orcs. Hoping this human land holds the fortune he seeks. Will he get rich, or will he die trying? We begin our journey where all great human tales begin in the world of Azeroth, Northshire. Our rogue lends a hand with the local troubles, slaying kobolds, dealing with Blackrock spies, and earning the trust of the people. From there, it's off to Goldshire and the surrounding forests, where we grind out early quests and push towards level 10, unlocking our flying mount along the way. But we're not ready for riches just yet. With no idea what the auction house market looks like, we play it smart, scraping together just enough copper to train our first gathering professions, mining and herbalism. And so, the real grind begins. I decided to make the rounds on the local bandits scattered across Elwynn. They're not exactly the most dangerous foes, but they've got just enough loot potential to make it worth the trouble. I was crossing my fingers for a couple of random greys, whites, or maybe even a cheeky green to drop to toss up on the auction house. Worst case, I'd walk away with some vendor trash and a bit of coin for the purse. So, with our tools in hand and professionals trained, we set out into the wilds of Elwynn, not as a hero, but as a humble gatherer. Copper veins glint in the hills, herbs sway gently by the riverbanks, and we take them all. Every node matters, every root, every rock, a tiny step closer to the token. The work is slow, methodical, the bags fill up, one stack at a time. No flashy loot, no rare drops, just a quiet promise that gold will come to those who grind. This is the Goldbound path, and we've only just begun. With that being said, after a while I decided to break up the gathering spree and go hunting for something a little bit more exciting. The rare creatures scatter throughout Elwynn. Maybe they're hiding something valuable, a shiny green drop, or a forgotten transmog piece that collectors are desperate for. It's a gamble, sure, but sometimes gold doesn't come from grinding, it comes from luck. Let's see if Elwynn's rares are feeling generous today. Of course, we're not just chasing rares for the thrill, we're chasing them for treasure. Here's what we're really after. From the depths of the Jasperlow mine, Mother Fang has a chance to drop the Broodmother's carapace, a unique transmog chest piece that tends to fetch a decent sum on the auction house. From Thoros Lightfingers, the elusive thief lurking near Northshire, we're hunting a thuggish shield, rough, worn and oddly profitable. Out near the Stone Cairn Lake, Fed Fennel may be holding on to the Pale Skinner, a dagger that earned a cult following among transmog hunters. And from Gug Fat Candle, skulking near Fargo Deep Mine, we're hoping to loot the small wooden hammer, a drop that can sell for tens of thousands of gold if luck is on our side. Each of these drops is rare, but not impossible, and everyone brings us closer to the price of that WoW token. So, let's get to killing. I made the rounds on some of the other rares in the zone, Tarantis, Grizzleben, and a few more unlucky souls. The XP was the real prize here, since their drop tables aren't exactly a gold mine. Sure, you might snag a bag or a random white or grey drop, but most of their transmogs share appearances with other low level items, making them practically worthless on the market. Still, every level I gained meant I hit harder, killed faster, and shaved a little more time off the grind. I kept my eyes peeled for Thoros, still chasing that elusive Thuggish shield. He's easily one of the most hotly contested rares in Elwynn, so if I want it, I need to be quick. Blink and someone else will tag him. No luck this time though, but I've still got a few random greens stashed away, so I can always roll the dice with these on the auction house. While roaming the zone and perfecting my loop, I took a moment to stop and look out towards Westfall, a potential future chapter in this journey. Like Elwynn, it's one of my all-time favourite zones in all of Azeroth, but first I have to earn my ticket out. Do I have the grit to endure this grind and make it there one day? Well, we're about to find out. One target that's not on our usual transmog hit list is Morgainga Sly, a crafty Defias rogue who, along with her bandit friends, has taken over the Mirror Lake orchard just besides Mirror Lake. Now, she's not exactly known for dropping gold-making treasures, but there's still a couple of things worth a shot. The live boots could bring in a bit of coin, and the jeweled daggers, while the auction house superstars, would actually be a direct upgrade for us if they don't sell. Either way, it's worth the detour. So, after hours of gathering, pickpocketing, and hunting down every rare creature in Elwynn Forest, the grind is finally starting to pay off. We've pickpocketed a solid stack of frayed knots, always a reliable seller, a few cobalt mining mallets along the way, decent vendor trash, but still better than nothing. We also managed to snag the Brood Mother's carapace from Mother Fang herself, a sleek little transmog piece that should turn some heads on the auction house. But the real jackpot, the small wooden hammer, dropped by a Gug Fat Candle. This thing's a transmog gold mine, and easily the most valuable piece we've found so far, so let's hope that eventually sells on the auction house. It's not a WoW token just yet, but we're definitely on the right path. After some thought and a quick peek at the auction house, I decided it was time for a slight change. Herbalism was fine, but it wasn't pulling its weight, so I dropped it for now and picked up engineering. Why? Because I noticed something interesting. Handfuls of copper bolts sell consistently, and far more for both raw copper and smelted bars. So, I got to work. I pushed my engineering skill up to 30, the minimum level needed to craft the bolts, and then smelted down every last piece of copper in my bags. What was once ore is now gold in the making. These always sell reliably on the auction house, as people are always wanting to come back and get their classic engineering leveled up, so from now on, all of our copper will be made into bolts. So, with the bolts crafted and posted on the auction house, it's time to dive back into the grind. Copper ore, pickpocketing, and rare spawns once again. Fortunately, the frayed knots keep dropping at a steady pace. The copper veins are building up in the bags again, and we've even picked up a couple of more transmog items to list on the auction house. Now, transmog sales can be slow, they're a long game, but when they hit big. Some of these hunters are willing to pay a pretty penny for the right luck, so we post them up and cross our fingers. Let's see if luck's still on our side. Alright, let's go check the mailbox and see if our efforts have paid off. Looks like the frayed knots have been steadily selling, no surprises there. We've already made a few gold off some random grey and white trash items, and of course the copper bolts continue to pull in a solid, reliable profit. No bites on the transmod items yet though, but we're holding out hope. One sale there could give us a massive boost towards our WoW token goal. If they sit too long, we might experiment with lowering the price a bit to encourage a sale, but for now, we stay patient. The right buyer is out there. Gold Gated isn't a rush, he's in this for a long haul. Taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture, we've done well so far. Eventually, we hit level 35, and that seemed to be a sweet spot right here in Elwynn. The mobs stopped scaling with us at level 30, so by level 35, we were cutting through them with ease, most drop in a single hit now. That little power gap made rare spawn hunting much faster, less time fighting and more time farming the drops that actually matter. The only big ticket item that slipped through our fingers so far is the thuggish shield dropped by Forest Lightfingers himself, the sneaky little guy. We've had to keep a closer eye on this spawn, but as it stands, here's where we're at. 1 Broodmother's Carapace, 1 Pale Skinner and 2 small wooden hammers. That's a solid transmog lineup so far. Now all we need to do is find the right buyers. The grind continues, the auction house is stocked and Gold Gated's gold pouch is getting heavier by the day, but we're not done yet. So, let's do a quick review of this session's grind. We started off by farming copper ore and herbs across Elwynn. Once we had our gathering routes down, we shifted focus to rare spawn hunting, chasing those elusive transmog drops. From there, we worked our way into pickpocketing the Defias bandits, looking for that steady income from frayed knots. Eventually, we rolled all of these into a single, efficient loop, a full circuit around the zone that hits nodes, rares and bandits in one clean rotation. Between runs, we crafted handfuls of copper bolts from our ore, a strong seller on the auction house. We also milled our herbs and sold off the pigments for some solid side profit. We did give disenchanting a try with some of the rare drop greens, but honestly, not worth the effort this time, maybe in a future zone. And while our big ticket transmog pieces are still going on the auction house, we're staying patient. Just one sale could be a huge jump forward. All in all, we've made real progress. We're sitting just under 10% of the way to our WoW token goal, and you better believe we're diving into another grind tomorrow. To finish off this session of the Gold Gated Challenge, we crack open the mailbox one last time, and it's looking pretty decent. With everything sold, from frayed knots to copper bolts and a few surprise trash items, we've brought our total gold up to just under 31,500. Not bad at all, especially considering that none of our big ticket transmog items have sold yet. Once these go, we'll be rocketing towards the WoW token. And of course, as tradition demands, we check the slash played on this account. Wow, 1 day 11 hours already on Gold Gated. Not too shabby for a broke dwarf who started with nothing but a dagger and a dream. Alright, before I wrap this up, let's crunch some numbers. This session alone, we've raked in 31,489 gold. At the time of recording, a WoW token is sitting at 391,564 gold, which means we're sitting at just over 8% of our way to our goal. Not a bad start at all really, to say we're locked in Elwynn Forest. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in to watch the first episode of my Goldbound series. It honestly does mean a lot. Making longer form content like this is a whole new adventure for me, so your support really does go a long way. If you've got any suggestions for gold farms or techniques I haven't tried yet here in Elwynn, drop them in the comments, because I'll be reading every single one. Also, if you're into MMOs, tabletop RPGs, or just want to rep some nerdy style, check out my store, www.underdark.store. We've currently got 20% off sale running right now, and it's got legendary shirts at epic prices. So whether you're farming, fighting, or forging ahead, stay sharp and stay golden. And I'll see you next time.